Hey everyone, I just thought I'd give you guys some good cooking pro tips. Kelsey's baking some cookies. Remy's assisting, and I thought I would just give you some of what I consider to be super helpful tips. So one of the biggest issues when cooking is getting stuff all over you, like flour. So I found the best way of protecting yourself is an apron. Now aprons are expensive, so this is a life hack. Just take a trash bag like this, a small knife, and then you just go like this, just really safe. Remember to always cut towards yourself. Wait, no, away from yourself. I paid attention to Boy Scouts. Then you just make some armholes. Let's see here. Like that. And we'll put on our apron. So now you won't get anything on you, and it protects you. So this is how I always like to cook. It's the only way to go, and it's really cheap. And then after, you can put your trash in the bottom, mostly. So Kelsey's being nice enough to let me use some of her dough, although she's not super happy about it. But I felt like it was a good way to demonstrate some of my tips. So first I want to show you how to roll out dough, and then a couple other, vegan, paleo-friendly tips on cooking. So I'm gonna put the camera down below to show what we're doing. Okay, so here's our dough. As you can see, this is made gluten-free. We only use, white flour. The brown flour is what makes it unhealthy. So I also find that to have a more vegan diet, I don't like to use, wood and stuff because they cut down trees. Again, I hate deforestation. So I use a banana to roll out the dough, and you can see it works really well. I mean, yeah, it works really well. And you just do this and you roll out the dough, and so your whole meal, you can eat all of your meal. And I just want to let you know, Dole did not sponsor this video. I'm not paid by anyone to give you this advice. So then, once you get it to this stage, I always like to flatten it with, this natural knife. Cavemen had knives. So you just go through and you flatten it like that. And then to cut cookies, you always go like this, and then just whatever shape you want. I like to make a star cookie, so you do this. So as you can see, it makes a star. Yeah, so it's a star, and this reminds me that we're all winners. We're all special in our own way. So another good thing, people use flour to grease the pan for the dough, but I found that Miracle Whip works a lot better at making it not stick to the counter. So you just spread that around, and look, the dough doesn't even stick at all to the countertop, and it really adds a lot of flavor, and it makes it super healthy because it's all natural Miracle Whip, and that's why they call it that. It's the miracle of modern science, is that they can make that without using any preservatives. So another thing that will happen after you cook for a while is your knives will get dull. So you always want to sharpen it. You just get another knife, and I saw this on the Food Network, and you do this, and you just scrape the blades together, and the two sharpnesses of the blades will actually sharpen each other. Let's see if it'll focus here. If I get right behind it. Okay. Right here, you want to get your blades right on the edges of each other like this, and scrape back and forth. And that motion will sharpen your blade really well. The other thing that I found is you always want to use the biggest knife possible. Even if you're cutting strawberries or something really small, the bigger the knife, the better the cut. That's just common sense. Knife, and if you get these brown spots on it, that's just natural wear of the knife. You don't need to fix it. My knives stay better if after I cut anything, especially meat, you don't wash them. You just let it work its miracle on the blade, and it preserves it really well. Those meats have the natural oils in it, and it will just keep the blade here nice and clean. So that's the other tip. After you're done with the meats and stuff, don't wash away all those good oils. Those are great for preserving not only your countertops and your dishes, but the metal on your blade as well. Okay guys, the last tip, and I know you all have experienced this, is when your eggs go bad. It can be one of the most frustrating things, and it could cost you a lot of money. That's why I always put my eggs in the freezer. And Kelsey, we just got back from the store. Kelsey always forgets, and I'm always finding them in the fridge, and I always have to put them back in the freezer. But that's a whole separate issue. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, and thanks for following my tips. Share them if you think other people will find them useful, and say hi to these two. Yeah.